Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another wonderful episode of Retro Wars. I'm the leader of the bunch here. You know me well. I'm just DVA, aka Bardock Elite Fires, a lovable schmuckhead, whatever you like to call me. And with me is my two faithful comrades in arms of Retro Reviewing. Go ahead and introduce yourselves.
Was that a Donkey Kong reference?
Don't worry about it. Just move on.
But anyways, hello everyone, your favorite Crossy fanatic here, your favorite wild card tree queen, and yes, celeb queen of the group here. You know me. So hi.
Look at that, Hazard. She finally admits she's the slut queen. Well, at least you finally admit it.
Fuck off.
At least you're getting help for it.
Alright, go ahead and introduce yourself, Hazard.
Well, you kind of said the name, but whatever. It's your lovable, sarcastic, researching bastard, HazardofChaos. I'm just doing my usual thing, doing the research for these two fuckers.
But you enjoy it so well.
Shut the fuck up.
Anyway, today we're here to do another episode, but as always, for those who are just coming in and watching what we do, for those who don't know what we do is we basically gather around in one sitting, binge watch the shit out of a show, all of its seasons and series and all the episodes, gather information, talk about it, and record a review for you, have some funny moments and clips in here, bits in there, all that jazz. But anyway, today we're reviewing Code Monkeys.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. As you can tell, Crossover's not too keen on this because of the binge watching we did. But yeah, Code Monkeys. What's there to be said about Code Monkeys? Because it's bat fucking shit insane.
I think that's pretty much an understatement, to be honest.
I know, but it makes South Park look normal. Let's just say that.
That's saying something.
Well, no. Yeah, if you watch South Park, this is just easy peasy for you. But goddamn it, but sure, I will say it's fucking crazy, wacky, and unbelievable.
To say the least.
Alright, so let's head over to our favorite researcher. Go ahead, go on your supercomputer and tell us what you can tell us about Code Monkeys here.
One of these days, motherfucker. One of these days. Anyway, Code Monkeys is basically an American animated TV program. It was created by Adam De La Pena, who also is one of the voice actors for the series.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, because of the way the series was written, basically the plot takes place in the early '80s. Weird, I know, but hey, I didn't write the series. I didn't create it. Anywho, It was first aired back in 2007 and ended in 2008. And it was on the G4 channel at the time. While it had good reception at the start, it got mixed reviews going onward, like past season 1. And of course, by the time the topic of renewing it for season 3 came around, it was basically a no-go.
Which is a shame. It was going so well, too.
Considering some of the shit in season 2, I can't entirely fault them. And unfortunately,
And not to mention the whole G4 shutting down.
Yeah, this was around the time G4 decided to basically become more of a reality TV channel than, the video game channel was well known for.
But, yeah, basically that's what happened to the show. Want to tell us what Code Monkeys is about?
It's basically centered around video game programmers along with their boss working at a video game company, developing company, Gameavision. Doesn't actually exist, by the way, I checked. But anywho, this mostly centers on the craziness around characters such as Dave and Jerry, who are two of the lead programmers. God damn it. Dave is basically how I put this lightly. He's basically the lead programmer. He's lazy as hell, focuses on playing video games rather than actually making them. Also is basically a massive drug abuser. In fact, he's most guilty of basically smoking a lot of weed. Hell, even going to the point where he actually makes most of his ideas while being high. Which somehow he still
I
managed to
mean-
keep his job in the process. Don't ask how.
I mean, sometimes the most creative ideas come from being high.
You're not wrong. I think. I wouldn't know.
Anyway,
Usually, Dave
But,
is well known for not just basically the fact that he's basically a chronic weed smoker, but he tends to spend a good chunk of his time basically spending money on whores. And he's
Yeah.
usually working alongside his best friend Jerry, who, to be blunt, is a bit of a massive pussy. However, Dave is literally like Dave and Jerry are basically polar opposites in terms of their work ethic. Jerry's the responsible one, and usually the one who is a voice of reason. Unfortunately,
Basically, like your. Sorry.
huh?
Like, it's basically like your run-of-the-mill duos that are kind of like them.
Or basically polar opposites. The sad thing is, in Jerry's case, though, he is easily influenced by Dave's bullshit. More often than not.
Basically like Hazard and Justin.
You shut your mouth.
you shut your whole mouth. So basically, this show series is about where it's a wacky-ass video game company with wacky-ass employees making video games while some of them have interesting traits. Let's go with that.
Yes, other characters include Bob Big T. Larity, who's the head of the Gameavision and a billionaire who basically bought the company, despite the fact that he literally knows nothing about video games, and only that they're sure to make him rich. Larity is all about the money, and will
he wouldn't be far.
usually go to extreme lengths to make sure he makes money at the end of the day.
I mean, he wouldn't be far off with video games nowadays. People are willing to spend a good buck on that shit.
Yeah, but Larity's so obsessed with money, he literally has a chair made out of it.
I mean, I've seen weirder chairs. I've seen a freaking guy who has a throne chair made out of skulls and bones. You think that's crazy?
Also, Larity is known to be basically violent, bigoted, misogynistic, and so on. But however, despite his stupidity, he's also surprisingly deceptive.
Yep.
And of course, he has no respect for his own employees, like any asshole boss. Yet he apparently likes Dave, Jerry, and Benny, who he sees as his own children, to a degree. Surprisingly, he also has a mutual respect thing going on with one of his own employees, Black Steve. We'll get more into that later. Then there's his son, who is basically a typical muscle-bound moron, like Johnny Bravo.
Yeah, I don't think it's like that bad of Johnny Bravo, because Johnny Bravo does think, but he mostly thinks about ladies. Dean just doesn't think.
Dean is not much better at times, though.
Yeah, but you don't see him flirting like Johnny would.
True, he doesn't even know how to flirt, as far as I can tell. But
yeah,
anyway,
just take a look at,
as I
for a
said,
good example of Johnny.
he is basically Larity's son and basically the supervisor of the company. Doesn't participate in any of the programming, doesn't seem to do any actual work half the time, other than helping his dad cover up illegal activities. And also uses violence to solve his problems. So yes, muscle-bound moron indeed. He's literally the stereotype of it.
If you want a good example of how bad Johnny Bravo is, though, by the way, just take a look at my freaking All My Johnny Bravo video, and then there you go.
Pardon me, hot, sexy mama. If you'd please to take a look at my studly bod, then I may have the pleasure of you wanting to be my #1 main squeeze.
How many times do I have to tell you I have a boyfriend?
Well, you look like the kind of girl that could use two.
You look like the type of girl. How many times did I have to tell you I have a boyfriend? Well, you look like the type of girl that needs two.
God damn it. Anyway, now we move on to the next character on the list. Todd. Basically, Todd generally works on fantasy games for the company, but it's more than just that. He is the stereotypical obese adult geek gamer. Always seen wearing a horn helmet, and of course he's often somehow his life is a disturbing one, to a degree. Because apparently he lives in this, his mind is so messed up, he lives in a fantasy world that blurs the lines between fiction and, well, non-fiction, thinking that at times his life is like Dungeons and Dragons, to say the least. Because of this, he is pretty much the most hated employee at the company, and the other characters basically refer to him as a creepy douche. And apparently he has a obsession with his mother. I do not want to get into it all right now. Then we have Black Steve, who's basically the account. And here's something. He's actually the accountant, but he does have actually knowledge on video game programming. And of course, as the nickname would imply, he is literally the only black person working at the company. He is foul-mouthed, short-tempered, and despite the fact that he's the accountant, he also does, as I say, he also does make video games occasionally. Also, very fluent in Japanese, surprisingly, and was a former pro wrestler. Again, and because of, I guess, there was some kind of mutual respect established at one point in the series between Black Steve and Larity. Most over the fact that they apparently love guns. Moving on, we have Mary, the one female programmer at the company who is unfortunately not taken seriously due to the fact that she's a female. This is at Gamevision, though. I don't know if that happens in actual developer companies, but I digress. And it doesn't help that most of her fellow co-workers are basically very much sexist. And the only exception being Jerry, who is basically has a massive crush on her. However, she has turned him down repeatedly, mainly due to the fact that he's friends with Dave. Ow.
Wah, wah.
Compared to her boss and co-workers, Mary's pretty much the voice of reason half the time at Gamevision. Often accused of being a lesbian because of her strong beliefs in feminism, and a majority of the games she designs are targeted at girls or revolve around women's issues in some way. Then we have Claire, the receptionist, who's basically Mary's polar opposite personality-wise. Basically, she's a stereotypical airhead, who apparently is basically horny as shit, to say the least.
Think of her like my Hironui in the Fatal Fury movie review.
Only it ain't just, only unlike mine, Claire is not limited to just one or two, just one guy. She's after usually several.
Oh, so it's a female. So it's a female man hoe. It's a female woman hoe.
Then we have Benny, a child illegally adopted by Larity to test the company's video games, and is fed a diet of cigarettes, pixie sticks, and bags of pure sugar to stunt his growth and keep him game testing non-stop. Yeah, this is what we were talking about when it comes to illegal shit by Larity. As a result, Benny is constantly hyper and usually spends his time roaming through the building's vents, and also making a side living selling things to employees. No game can be shipped without Benny's approval, which causes the programmers, mostly Dave and Jerry, to keep constantly bribing him with treats and toys. And then we have Clarence, the audio designer, who is basically flamboyantly gay, and sings effectively all of his dialogue, constantly makes blatant references to gay sex, and so on. And apparently can somehow levitate and pass through walls using what was quoted in the series as, and nobody shoot me for this one, it was actually quoted as gay magic. Again, this was literally what was stated in the series. Occasionally, Clarence also pitches games to the company as well, and that's all the major characters. Basically put, as for the series itself, according to G4's own president, the first season was a massive success for the network, and during its first season, the show was watched by over 20 million people. But since then, it's gotten mixed reviews. Basically put, one reviewer literally stated that the show is a promising idea with gags told in a South Park style dialect, which has a fast free-for-all quality. Another one says basically it was wasted potential, so to speak. Also went on to say that those hope G4 could actually deliver something watchable, but Code Monkeys is not it. Ouch. So yeah, mixed reviews all around. A lot of people saying it was good, and a lot of people saying it was bad.